So, what do we care if the Twitter employees quit? Why is this all of a sudden something I have to concern myself with, or you, or any one of us? What does it matter to us? If the Twitter employees quit because the demand from their bosses, do your job, well, then they quit. And that's for Elon Musk to have to figure out. He spent $44 billion on Twitter. I don't think he necessarily wants to burn it to the ground. But if he's not getting from his employees what he needs, well, then why shouldn't he say these things? Why is this somehow such a problem? And wait till you see how Joe Biden plays into this. Welcome to the show, everybody. Presented by Americans for Prosperity, AmericansForProsperity.org. Just got done recording my cigar and bourbon show, Eat, Drink, Smoke, and decided I would just have myself an All Saints cigar and come to you straight from here. It's kind of stunning that people are freaking out. What we're hearing is that the employees over at Twitter are heading for the exits. Of course, half the employees got fired, Thanos snapped, as it's being described, because he felt he didn't need them. I mean, why else would he do it? All of a sudden, this guy is some damn ignorant fool. I don't think he's a damn ignorant fool, nor do I think he's a savior. Although I appreciate anybody who thinks that platforms like Twitter should actually engage free speech and not be telling people what they can and can't say, and not be suppressing real stories like, for example, Hunter Biden's laptop, which Twitter did before an election, which was, of course, wrong and something they should have to deal with. Everyone who worked at Twitter, who worked in the suppression of a story that was legit, real, and honest, those people should face derision. They should be ashamed of themselves, but they're not really ashamed of themselves, are they? They're only upset that Elon Musk now has control and they can't keep you and me from engaging in conversations or hearing about conversations. I don't want to be around people like that. I would Thanos snap half those people as well. But now he's got this missive, if you will, this directive. You'll be in the office and you'll do the work. As a matter of fact, you need to get hardcore. You can argue, if you want, that telling employees they've got to work as hard as you do is bad business, because they won't work as hard as you will. Only you will ever work as hard as you will. And maybe you can argue that it's not a way you actually want to deal with employees because it's not encouraging. You can say that. You can make that argument as this was a bad business move. Or you can say, well, let's see how it works out. But you can't make the argument of how dare Elon Musk. It's his company. He can do anything he damn well wants. That's exactly what we were told when we said to Twitter, as we say to Facebook, you can't tell these people they can't speak. They say, well, it's a private company. They can do what they want. That's not actually the case when you're getting all this kind of government care and you're working with government officials to keep people like me and like you silent, which is exactly what was happening. Groups like Microsoft proudly saying we need to work more with government on these issues. That is absolutely not what I want. If you say to me, well, it's about safety and security and misinformation. The New York Post story was real about Hunter Biden's laptop. Not putting it out was purposeful misdirection, preventing people from knowing facts and data before an election. And you want to talk to me about misinformation? Not buying, not going to be a part of it, not going to deal with it. The answer is no. If Elon Musk, the owner of Twitter, wants people in the office and working harder, he says get in the office and work harder. And then those people can decide whether or not they want to go to the office and work harder. This is true of every business all across America, and this, for many people, is absolutely what their bosses are about. And some people love their boss, and some people hate their boss, and some people tolerate their boss, and some people are fine with their boss, and some people like to work hard, and some people, they don't want to work hard at all. Welcome to every single day of existence, guys. This is absolutely, positively nothing new. Did I just lose the broadcast? That was really weird. Sorry about that. So here we are. Here we are with this moment of what it is that these Twitter employees are going to do. And the answer is let them do what they damn well want. Why do I have to pay attention? I'm not going to pay attention. My life without Twitter goes on. And so does yours. If for some reason, if some way, all of a sudden you have this situation by which Twitter can't operate anymore, okay, we'll all survive. If the Twitter employees don't want to go back to work, they don't. This is true of any single place. You don't want to work somewhere, don't. And things rise and things fall. This was one of the great conversations when we talked about the bailouts in 2008, 2009, 2010. How dare you tell Americans that there's a company that's too big to fail? They made their bets. Why in the world shouldn't they have to deal with the consequences of their actions? They should always deal with the consequences of their actions. They did this. They're the ones who did this. They made the bets on those mortgages. They allowed people who made $38,000 a year to buy $700,000 houses. This is on them. Why am I being told that they get a bailout? They never should have gotten a bailout. Of course it was wrong. It was obscene. It was ugly. It was beyond recognition. And what it did was teach Americans that if things get too bad, don't worry, the government will bail you out. One of the worst possible messages you could ever deliver. I mean, an absolutely positively awful message. I'm glad to see so many people watching over there at rumble.com/Tony Katz. Don't forget to subscribe. Would greatly appreciate you doing that. And don't forget to leave a comment. Happy to answer them. Let the Twitter employees leave. But I want to connect how this connects to Joe Biden, because to do that, you need this right here from Maxine Waters, representative from California.
Well, first of all, we have identified that there are supply chain problems, that there's a war in Ukraine, and there's gouging that's going on, and much of this is adding to the inflation that we're experiencing. And so I think the president has done a good job in using the bully pulpit with some of the biggest corporations in America, warning them not to gouge. The supply chain is getting better as we move past this pandemic. And so we think that it is absolutely correct that you have some interest rates, but it is the size of them and it is how fast they're being done.
Can't listen to her anymore. Why is it that it's okay for Joe Biden to threaten private companies, to threaten oil companies, to demand that they lower their gas prices, to demand they do this, that, and the other? Remember, it's Maxine Waters who once had to catch herself in a meeting that she wanted to nationalize oil companies. She had to catch herself in a hearing from saying it out loud. But Biden can threaten these people. Biden can pressure these people. He can do all of that. He's somehow standing up for us and doing something about inflation. But Elon Musk can't tell his own employees, get back to the office and work harder. You might argue again that it's bad business. You can't argue that he can't do it. And that's exactly what's happening. Biden does it, it's fine. But when Elon Musk does it, it's a problem. Please. I don't care what happens to the Twitter employees. I don't wish harm on them. I mean, that'd be a weird thing to do. Although they were totally fine with wanting to harm people like you and me by preventing us from being able to engage in conversation. They had no problem with that whatsoever. They were overjoyed with the idea that you couldn't speak, that you couldn't say things, that you couldn't share things. They loved it, and they thought they were pious and righteous and decent for doing so, when, of course, that's absolutely not the case. Biden is not decent when he screams at an oil company, "Don't you charge that much?" When he screams about windfall profits taxes, where do you think those taxes end up getting paid? They get paid by us. Do you think the company actually pays them? We pay them. So when you hear the progressives talk about taxing profits, they're saying we should pay more. Aren't we paying enough for gas as it is? And haven't we learned that supply and demand is real? Because Biden is the guy who's releasing oil dangerously from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve and putting it into the system. Why don't we just go about having energy security and doing more drilling and putting that product into the system. It would make a lot more sense. It would be a lot more rational. Yeah, let the Twitter employees quit, guys. Let them quit. Our lives go on as normal. There are other platforms, and Twitter may very well survive in some other kind of moderated form. What? Some celebrities now going to leave Twitter, so what? It's like watch. I was going to actually make a bad analogy there, so I won't do it. I will make a good one. This is not something for us to worry about or panic about. And the fact that it's a news story and you're seeing networks and outlets freak out about this tells you what they're all about. They're about that control and that power. They're about the idea that you should not have a say unless they decide what you say is the right thing to say. Nah, not me. Now, you say what you want. I'll agree, I'll disagree, we'll be friends, we won't be friends, and that's just the way it goes. But my life without Twitter, absolutely fine. And I believe your life without Twitter is absolutely fine as well. Joe Biden can do it, it's fine. Elon Musk does it, and it's wrong. No, and no. Guys, I appreciate you being a part of the show. I appreciate you doing this thing with me, and I appreciate the people over at Americans for Prosperity for supporting this and sponsoring this and letting me do this show day in and day out. Sorry about the tech issue. I'm not sure what happened there. Don't forget to subscribe on Rumble, rumble.com/Tony Katz, rumble.com/Tony Katz. That's where you want to subscribe. I got Cigars and Solutions tomorrow, even though I'm smoking a cigar right now, but Cigars and Solutions tomorrow. We do that on Fridays. Sometimes we do it on Saturdays. Sometimes we do it on Sundays, but I usually do it right around the weekend time. And I will catch more of you guys. WIBC.com from 6 to 9 a.m. and noon to 3 is where you find me. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Take care.